Whoa, that was like masterclass in just an I vowel and then a little bit of something. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Jennifer Glatzhofer, a musical theatre performer and a voice teacher, and today I will be reacting to Chris Stapleton performing Tennessee Whiskey. This was suggested by one of my lovely Patreons. Thank you so much for being there and suggesting this performance. I am aware of this song, but for some reason, I don't think I've ever seen this performance, so I'm sure we're in for a treat. Yes, you may be thinking, where are the fairy lights? Don't worry, they're still there, they're just in the other room. If you're unaware of what I'm talking about, I've just changed location. If this is your first time watching one of my videos, thank you very much for clicking onto this firstly, but let this also be a little warning that this is a reaction and analysis video, so I will be stopping and talking about what I'm hearing vocally. If you'd rather watch the original video, I have left the link in the description below for you to go and check out, which I strongly advise you to do. If, however, nerding about the vocals is something that you are into, then stay on. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the bell button to be notified anytime I post. Let's go.
Used to spend my nights out in the barroom. Liquor was the only love I'd known. But you rescued me from reaching for the bottom and brought me back from being too far gone.
There's so much just to unpack already with these kind of 4 lines that we've just heard. First of all, the connection to his voice. It just feels so easy and connected to his speaking voice. It's so direct, so forward placement, and it's just kind of rolling off of where he would naturally be speaking, which is why this close-up that we have, really wonderful and really helpful for us to see what's going on. He's so relaxed, and it's just like he's just talking. There's a brightness to his voice as well. We'll go back to the beginning so we can just hear this lovely kind of intro again, but there's a brightness to his voice, and that's of the twang, right? Which is in his natural speaking voice as well, that kind of brightness, but he's enhancing it here to keep that bright feel throughout this whole passage and to just keep it lifted. Another thing I just want to talk about as well, which Chris Stapleton does really well, is kind of linger on the ends of the words and kind of just play around with it a little bit. You know, the kind of closed ends and just kind of hover around there. It's so nice.
Used to spend my nights out in the barroom.
So that was a room, and he kind of hovers around that really, really tiny. But even before then, to help with that brightness as well as the twang, his vowel shapes, night, at, they're quite spread. They're not like spread that we're squeezing, but we're showing that teeth, so we're not keeping it kind of in a classical kind of oval, long shape, narrow shape. We are spreading a little bit to get that brightness in there as well.
Liquor was the only love I'd known.
Distortion.
But you rescued me from reaching for the bottom and brought me back from being too far gone.
So easy on him.
You're right smooth. It's Tennessee whiskey. You're right sweet. Strawberry wine. You're as wild as a glass of brandy. And honey, I stay stoned on your love all the time.
The blend of the 2 voices here as well is so nice because it's just enough that we can hear that top harmony, but it's not like overpowering. It's just kind of lingering there. It's so nice. What? That was fun. Chris Stapleton is kind of hovering around this F sharp 4 area, and that was on an A4. He is in his first passage there, coming towards the end of his first passage. And what that is the kind of journey, the kind of pathway point of our chest voice or our thicker folds, then into our thinner folds of our head voice. But you can, again, it's so easy because he's got this really lovely connected chest voice in his thicker fold. He's not being too heavy. He is able to bring that up a little bit, lighten it with some head voice qualities, keeping it thin, ensuring that we have good vocal fold closure to keep us connected and balanced throughout that little part, because it's such a tricky area. He is doing so lovely. And on that that little run that we had down, he's on this vowel, so that when he comes down, because it's a descending run, he is connecting back to his chest voice as the quickest moment he can. Let's go there.
Strawberry wine. You're as warm as a glass.
You can kind of hear, it's very, very quick, right? And it's quite tricky to hear when he kind of goes into a little bit more of a chest dominant place, because throughout this it is placed in a chest dominant place anyway. But because of that twang that we mentioned earlier, that's what's driving him there. And this twang is happening above the vocal folds. So our vocal folds are doing what they need to do. And in order for us to keep bright, we're adding twang, which actually happens around the aryepiglottis sphincter, or the AES for short. So the vocal folds are just doing their thing. It's not like something that we're adding, like squeezing or like hurting ourselves. It's actually something that happens above that we apply as a little technique.
It's Tennessee whiskey.
But he has it in his voice naturally, so it's kind of just enhanced.
You're a sweet strawberry
I love this section, so I just want to listen to it again.
You're as warm.
I think it's right there that we get
brandy.
grab that chest.
Honey, I stay stone on your love all the time. I look for love in all the same old places, y'all. Found the bottom of the bottle's always dry.
Whoa, that was like masterclass in just an I vowel and then a little bit of something. There was a lovely moment, we'll go to it again, we'll watch the whole thing, but his tongue was sticking out, right? And as soon as that tongue's placed forward, it just, again, it helps with the vocal placement, having that sound kind of be forward and get that projection out. And also just ensures that we've got a relaxed tongue position. The tongue is huge, full of muscles, and sometimes it gets in the way and causes us tension. But having it placed a little bit in front, especially when we're kind of wanting to get a little bit more of a chest-connected sound, going towards a little bit of a belt sound, having that in the front just ensures that we're as relaxed as we can be. Having that voice, that sound placement forward. Right, this slide that we hear at the beginning, it's such a direct sound because of the positioning of it being quite forward placed with a sound. He's hovering and lingering where yeah, so it's just your semitones, then he slides back there. But there's a little bit of grit happening there as well, which that's what kind of makes it really exciting. Really, really nice and relaxed, but then that rough edge to it. And he kind of jumps on it a little bit sooner than beat one. It's so free.
Found the bottom of the bottle's always dry.
You see it? So spoken like.
But when you poured out your heart, I didn't waste it. 'Cause there's nothing like your love to give me.
So that was that same A4 note as the wah, that lovely descend down. But you can hear how they were two completely different place tone qualities, quite similar, but just different placements, different balances of the mix voice being that kind of blend of the two registers, chest and head voice. And it doesn't have to be 50-50. That's the beauty of it, because it depends on what sound you were after. Before, we had a very much chest dominant connection on that descending down, because that's what we were after. We're on that R vowel. Here we're on that R vowel as well, but you can hear, because of that soft entrance onto that note, and we're getting on it quite softly, it's a lot more head dominant, and then he builds up dynamically.
I didn't waste it.
I love the chill.
'Cause there's nothing like your love to give me.
Yeah, one more time. It's so thin, twangify to the max as well to encourage that. You can tell it's just not coming from a heavy, like he's not reaching for that note. So he's placed with his thin folds up there. Then he's adding a lot of that cry whine, twangifying it as well. You can hear that kind of presence there. And that's how he's growing with the volume, not adding any heaviness.
Like your love to give me.
And then drops to that,
It's Tennessee whiskey. You're as sweet strawberry wine. You're as warm as a glass of brandy. And honey, I stay stoned on your love all the time.
I love how it matches his vocals as well, like, and then here as well.
You're as sweet as Tennessee whiskey. You're as sweet as strawberry wine.
B, straw. Let's just quickly look at the harmony here. To ensure that we're not overpowering the singer, obviously, yes, the mic levels and the mix overall, that helps, but you've got to have it as a singer as well to blend in with other singers, if that's, the whole point of this backing vocalist here, to really blend in and listen to what the lead vocalist is doing here. There is so much connection here. If she was to kind of straw, it would be too soft. Trying to find that middle ground, she has to be connected. She can't be just reaching up and being full thick folds and growing in volume, because it might overpower the lead singer. So it's trying to find that right balance. And I love that. It's so relaxed in both of their voices. Chris Stapleton also kind of likes a little bit of a head jiggle when he's kind of riffing and running around. I think that's just, it's in him. He is so within his music and just living in it, living in the moment. It's just so nice to see.
You're as sweet as strawberry wine. You're as warm as a glass of brandy. Warm as a glass of brandy.
Da. Yeah. Hello, chromatic notes. We love it.
You're as warm as a glass of brandy.
So spoken like.
Honey, I stay strong.
You can tell because it's just easier down here.
It's Tennessee whiskey.
What's just so impressive is that he's just kind of called out on this scream, this like with his tongue out, like, the grit, and then he's back down here being so clear, so connected, so two completely different vocal qualities. If we were to hear that distortion all the way through, then that would be kind of his default, and we want to look in like, why is that happening? Why? Let's work on getting a clear sound as well to give us an option. But there isn't here because he can add that distortion in. Because again, it's nothing to do with the vocal folds. It's happening on top. It's probably happening around his false vocal folds, which, yes, they're a thing.
On your love all the time,
Clear.
it's Tennessee whiskey. Tennessee whiskey. Oh, Tennessee whiskey. You're right smooth. It's Tennessee whiskey.
She's also quite far back in vocals, quite far away from the mic.
Tennessee whiskey.
He's like right close.
Oh, Tennessee whiskey. Thank you all so much. You've been a wonderful audience. Good night.
I love hearing their spoken voice after, because you can just tell how much of the same qualities were used in his vocal performance in the singing, and it's so similar. Well, I thoroughly enjoyed that performance. It's the song itself, like it repeats, it kind of, we know what's coming up, but each time it comes back to like the one, that part, for example, he changes something up. Like the final time we had like that crunchy note kind of falling in here, making it really, really bluesy. That was great. Thank you very much for watching this reaction and analysis video. If you did enjoy it, please go ahead and click that subscribe button, the bell button, and the thumbs up button. And do go over and check me out on Patreon as well. I will see you very soon for another video. Bye!